Jakpa. You think moving abroad is a dream, a fresh start, a better life. But behind every smile, there's a story.
Coming down here to Canada with my family, everything does change. We are no more together, we are separated.
The fact that they think that once you come here, money just they follow you up and down. They just like, they think you have money. I don't have money. Yo.
So cold here. I wasn't expecting.
But
when you come to Canada, everything is done on time, which makes you learn how to do things on time. A bit hard.
It is very risky. Boredom, ego, money, and every other thing. My brother, be ready to face every consequences you can. But if you're a fighter, you will survive.
अमेरिका कितने भी मूव होना चाहने हो, सब तो पहली गाल बहुत बढ़िया डिसीजन है बाहर निकलना.
Mental health awareness, it's a thing that's been overlooked, especially migrating from a different place that has a different culture, that has a different experience, and coming here.
Canada taught me a lot of lessons. First of all, main one is doing a lot of hard work and staying alone from my family and friends. And I also miss my pets.
When I had frostbite, coming back from work late in the night, 11 p.m., snowing, my flatmate is not picking his call, the door is locked, I was caught up outside.
Being a kid and then moving abroad as a kid, like as a teenager, so the whole experience, becoming an adult, is an experience.
So kukoleka research ko bakubulire chiche chiliyo.
Stories of courage, of pain, of dreams that turn into battles, and battles that turn into breakthroughs. Back home, they had careers, degrees, respect. But migration resets everything. This is the truth about migration.
So I'm going to be asking people one simple question. What has it really been like leaving their home country and starting a new life over again in another country?
What happens when your qualifications don't count anymore?
I experienced looking for a job for more than almost 6 months to 1 year. Back then when I was in school, I was only Nigerian in my class. But notwithstanding, I was finding it difficult to hear what they are saying. But later I got accustomed to their language. And then education here is very good, better than Nigeria. The story I would like to share is, let's talk about love. Sometimes love exists, but they say love is blind. But sometimes I would say, when they say it's blind, you need to use the glasses for you to see that love is not blind. You need to use your brain. The experience I will never forget is coming down here to Canada with my family and then looking at everything does change. We are no more together, we are separated, and then everything that happened from 2023 to date, having issue with my husband, and then the issue was not resolved, and then everything scattered and we're no more staying together. Though it pained me a lot, but there is nothing I can do. Later I discovered that love alone is not enough in marriage. We talk about finances, work, we talk about in-law issues, we talk about coming together, reasoning together, being on the same page. Then I got to understand that it is not how far, but it's how well. Then I've learned a lot of things during the course of my marriage issue, though I would like to share them later. I'm trying to get adapted to being alone, thinking alone, because of what happened to me in my marital life. So I'm trying to gather myself together and then thinking of what next to do. I don't want to be stagnant because my husband has moved on, so means I need to move on. Canada has taught me to learn to be independent. Don't rely on people. Be yourself. Be focused, be determined, be assertive, strong, be bold, be courageous. And then I've learned that sometimes what we expect is not what we see. I was working as a nurse back there in Nigeria before I came to Canada. Even though my license, I was told that I would need to do some exams like NCLEX for me to convert my license to Canadian license, for me to work and be connected to the CNO, Canadian Nurses of Ontario. So after then, I'm trying to look for what to do for the meantime till I will get something doing. I don't want to be idle.
Jakpa, a term used across Nigeria and parts of Africa to describe leaving home. It comes from a Yoruba language, Ja meaning to break free and Pa meaning completely. Together, Jakpa, to escape fully without looking back. The slang exploded in 2018 after Nigerian artist Narration dropped his hit song Jakpa, talking about running off to places like London and Canada.
What story you like to share about migrating from your home country to a different country? Because I feel like everybody has a story, right?
Yeah. Mine was just really scary, bro. Because so one thing is most people don't know what to expect. So they think like migrating, you come to a land filled with rose and honey and milk. You don't even know when you come for the first time, you don't know how the buses work, you don't know how to get anywhere, and you don't have a place to stay. I literally slept at the bus station the first night I got here.
Really? How was it like?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know where to go, right? I don't want to spend my money to pay for a hotel because I'm limited to the amount of cash I have, right? I came in the thick of the winter, which was very scary. The good thing about mine is I was always warned from home because I have a lot of people abroad and they always told me, get ready to face stuff like this. But I noticed most other people don't get that warning.
Yes.
So it comes and becomes like a big challenge. It was a challenge, yeah.
So you came prepared?
In a way. But not too prepared because my mom was like, you need more clothes. And I'm like, nah. Then I get here and I'm like, I really do need more clothes. It took me 5 months before I secured my first job here.
5 months?
Yeah.
So how was it like for you? You paying for rent and...
So normally we all know that we pay half of our school fees to get here, right?
Yeah.
So what I started doing was taking money from my other half for school fees to be paying for rent and feeding.
What was your first job?
Walmart.
How was your first job compared to what you do right now?
So what I do right now is something I've always been trained for. I mean, I have like over 4 years experience from Nigeria in IT. So normally I enjoy computers as a whole. But I rather prefer having snow than rainfall. You are paying bills on bills. The money is not as you think. You are nothing come out. People think too much, you're making millions once you leave Nigeria and come to Canada. But that's a lie. That's a huge lie. We're suffering. Truthfully, I enjoy the way the people here relate with each other. They're respectful and everything. But at the same time, it's like you don't know what someone else has in mind for you. So you just gotta be careful, but I just enjoy the way everyone here is always happy and trying to share happiness. If you are thinking to come overseas, don't think you're coming to enjoy life. My brother, you go suffer. You will suffer. You will grind your teeth. You see, you would think it's easy. You would think my car says, not me get them. My car can be So it's not easy. Just know if you're coming and you're moving abroad, you are starting life on a different aspect. Be ready to face trials and tribulations and just aim for your success because the end point is the success. I don't regret migrating. I will do it over and over again. Maybe a different country. Hard work pays, man. That's one big thing Canada has taught me. Giving up is not an option because once you give up, you're just gone. Anything, any idea can work. You just have to put in the work. And that's one big thing Canada has taught me. It took me 5 months to get a job and I was able to secure a good one. No matter how people were telling me, oh, there is no IT job where you are, leave the city, move and all that. But I never gave up. I kept on applying. Morning, afternoon, night, I'm on my laptop, application, Indeed, Rogers, and yeah, I got a good one.
Loneliness affects early immigrants deeply. Many come seeking connection, but isolation is a battle few talk about. Only 24% of newcomers' first marriages ended, compared to 43% among Canadian-born couples. Over 34% of Canada business owners are immigrants, yet arrive with no support and must build everything from scratch.
Culture shock I discovered was, now take this from me, this is not a joke, how nice these people are over here. They are extremely nice in a way that, you know, when you see things on news or you hear people say, oh, Canadians are super nice and they're super polite and they're super generous and they're super kind. trust me, it's true. And it took me a while to decipher how authentic this love or this kindness is. It's just a Canadian thing to just be nice at all times, to always be happy and smiley. You can almost never hear Canadians bicker or complain or nag about, you know, a whole bunch of things, but I think in general, they're just good people, they're nice people. The weather, it was highly exaggerated. The fact that we have 4 seasons here, and a lot of people don't know that it's not actually all bad. Yes, the winter might be tough when it snows and all, but in general, I think it's beautiful. All seasons here is just beautiful, and a lot of people don't get to talk about the rest of it. They just capitalize on, oh, it's so cold, but yeah, it gets hot too. I mean, it's summer now, and sometimes the weather gets as high as 23 degrees, which is super hot. Compare that weather to the Middle East, compare that weather to places like Kuwait. It's almost about same temperature, same degree. So I don't think it's all that bad. It gets hot and it gets cold as well. Mental health awareness, it's a thing that's being overlooked, especially migrating from a different place that has a different culture, that has a different experience, and coming here, they don't prioritize their mental health. They over-exaggerate mental health with work, with money, you know, all you can get. Where I'm from Nigeria. Most people who migrate here come with the mindset of just to work and get money and how to become a millionaire, but they don't understand that it's not really all sunshine and rainbows over here, you know. I've gained good and bad. I've been lonely, I've lost friends, I've lost companionships, family, you know, being away from home. It's something I've lost, but also I've gained a whole lot of experience. For example, I go fishing now. I haven't tried ice fishing. That's something I want to do. I've learned to adapt to the weather. It's an experience, it's a journey. I've tried new foods that I didn't know I would like. And yeah, in general, a whole bunch of things. Oh my God, and you see coffee. I know Arabs drink coffee a lot, but trust me, they're in competitions with Canadians. They drink so much coffee. I don't know if it's due to the weather or not, but yeah. Oh, migrating impacted my mental health, and it's still impacting my mental health. And I don't think it's migrating in general. I think it's just due to the fact that you're moving away from the things you've known all your life. You're moving away from the things you've been used to, your family, friends. Your taste buds begin to change, your body system, you get used to a whole bunch of new things. So that would definitely impact you on a daily basis. And you know, the working system here, your day-to-day activities. It's not like in Nigeria whereby it's 24 hours hustling and bustling. Like you come out midnight, you see people in the streets. There is quiet time here and you have to abide by it. So it's just, you know, it's a shift in change. It's a shift in mindset. If you are not with your family here, trust me, it's going to take a very special grace to not be depressed. But in all, yeah, you just have to keep pushing through. In the province where I am, I used to have some favorite restaurants I would go to, and I was looking for them here. So one time we drove up to Toronto, which is a bigger city than where we are, and I saw this Five Guys restaurant, and I was blown out of my mind. I was like, oh my God, you know, this is scarce over here. We don't have a whole bunch of options over here. I don't know why, but it didn't meet my expectations. This is probably because I came from a different country, so it was just, I was used to seeing certain things. I was used to having certain things. But yeah, it was kind of different here, like elevators. It was a bit of a shift, but you know.
Some journeys don't just cost money. They cost marriages, relationships, even families.
Like many immigrants, I've had my own struggles adapting to life here. So I wanted to know, is my experience unique?
I migrated to Canada in 2012.
And I migrated in 2017. It was a great experience moving from my country to Canada. Although we had lots of challenges, but it worth it by the end of the day. At first, when I moved here, it was winter going on and it was weather shock. It was so cold here. I wasn't expecting.
For me, it was not much different. Though I moved from Dubai, it was really hot there.
And but not the winter. No. But yes, beautiful summer. I would definitely say if somebody really wants to visit Canada, summer is the best time. I learned like in our home country, women's are mostly stays at home, but not anymore. But still, most of the women stays at home and do home chores. I learned a lot of things, like how to fix the bulb and the other stuff. And I would say it was a great experience. And yeah, I would say it's worth it for me to move in Canada and learn. It's not just about cooking and cleaning. It's a lot of other things you learn from Canada, you know, somewhere else.
The people are more polite over here than anywhere else, so that's the thing I mostly like about it. And it's most peaceful country.
When you move somewhere else, like from your country, you learn a lot how to live a life on your own.
We get more opportunities than over here, and as I said, Canada is a peaceful country, so that attracts more people, more opportunities. We can make more money over here, and we can support our families in a better way.
A good life that motivated us to move to Canada, and that things bring him here, and I come along with him.
In the year 2012, I moved over here November 1st, 2012, and it cost around $7,000 to $8,000.
What's your story like?
My story started, I think, September 8th, when I had issues with my previous landlord. Not even the landlord itself, the landlord's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I got the house on a Saturday, and on Monday I was already accused of being a thief. And I'm like, Remo, I don't even know where to start from. Well, I don't even know where there's anything that you say I want to steal. So I started recording, like I still have the video evidence in my phone. I got the police involved, police got the school involved. And you know what's so funny? This was that, as Niger boy, maybe say if police follow you, he'll be a chief. But for now another is another story. Police came to the previous house, packed my stuff, we got to the residence. When I got to the residence, two police and a black boy. This is a criminal. And then because the police had to say, no, don't worry, there's nothing going on. It's not a suspect, he's not being arrested, because they had to like come involved, because the facial expression of the lobby of the like residents there.
Yeah.
I know that to them looks like this guy is going back home.
Yeah.
So then I got a room at the residence. Then I submitted my video. They took down with my.
Can I see what the video looks like?
Oh yeah, sure.
Out of here!
Well, the school came in. Yeah. The admission office were involved.
Was she queried or everything just?
Well, I left it over
went down the train.
And but you know this Nigerian attitude of, and it's now with the police. Yeah. I'm in a better place. Let it slide. But now that I've told people my story, they're like, oh, why didn't I press charges? Why didn't I follow up? Like, why didn't I just seek for mental health? But, you know, then I just came now. I was like...
With everything that happened, how did that impact your mental health?
I don't know, because as a Niger boy now, I think it was when I got here that I found out how mental health works. But because for Niger family, like in a Nigerian home, if you say, Mom, I'm depressed, may you first go grant beans, you know? But it was when I got here that I found out that mental health is a really big thing. So it didn't really affect my mental health. It just shaped me to be a better person. Like, know your right, do your regular findings before you get to a new place, so you don't get bullied and stuff like that. One thing people over-exaggerate about this country is the fact that they think you'd have peace of mind. When you come here, the job is waiting, the money is there, you just need to just come, be here, enjoy the money. But me, no, it was not there. I remember me and my friend, when we were looking for a job during the winter, it was still snowing. I think it was like minus 20 something. And we're walking inside the snow, we're going from store to store, handing out resumes. Then we're like, please, we're international student, we need a job, take rest. It was snow. I think I still have pictures on my phone, but then the ideas they have is not what is here. You know, you would also, yeah, you will also, you will pick shift. But then, you know, One thing about it is the fact that you will get paid on time. You see the result of your hard work. That's why I'll say it's a good thing of being here in this country. I experienced -40 where I came out one time of the residence and I couldn't breathe. Everything that had liquid in my body just froze. An experience I relate to is that if you be boss, you be boss for your lane. When I was back home, I didn't have a job. I had a job, but I didn't share a resume. I got my job in a naming ceremony where everybody was drunk. I just told my dad, Dad, I need a job. And they walked up to my cousin and said, I really need a share. And the next day I resumed. So coming here and handing a resume, doing interview, it was hard. I didn't even know how to write a resume. It was hard. And even when I did my IT, CWES in an airport, in an airline at the airport, I just told my mom that I need to get CWES done. And then she called someone and she was like, okay. And the person was like, can she start tomorrow? I was like, no, let him start next week. And next week I started. So coming here, looking for a resume and trying to make your resume fit into the kind of job you need. It was hard. Understanding that starting from the back of the queue was a thing, because anywhere I go, I just need to say I'm the son of this person. Even when I go to the bank, I had friends at the bank. I had friends where I could call and hey, what's up? I need help, and it's done. But coming here, there's nobody. You go start from the back, and then you work your way forward. Culture shock is to address somebody that is way older than me as their name, and then saying sorry for something that I did not participate in. Somebody trips and you say, oh, sorry, and they're like, oh, no, it's not your fault. I'm like, I'm Nigerian, and that sorry has to come outside. And then addressing somebody as, you see, a supervisor that you work with, and they're like, oh, my name is ABC, address me as ABC. And in your head, you're like, ABC are way older than me and my mother together. But you still have to address them as ABC. It was a cultural shock for me.
Can you cross the borders without losing pieces of yourself on the way?
So I left Cameroon in 2023 and I moved to Canada. Literally the biggest decisions I've ever made in my entire life. The first day I got to Canada, I cried. I'm alone, very far from my family, and there's nothing I can do about it. I literally cried. I called my dad and I was like, can I come back? And like, no, you said Canada was where you wanted to go, so stay there. Ce n'est pas le souci, ce n'est pas le problème. So I'm all good. I am somebody that's always cold, so I hate winter so much. I hate winter. Summer is definitely my favorite season. The fact that they think that once you come here, money just they follow you up and down. They just like, they think you have money. I don't have money, yo. I always tell my family, if you see me post on Instagram, because they follow me everywhere. So if you see me post on Instagram, TikTok, I don't have money. It's just, it's fake life. I don't get money. Yeah, they think money is just falls from trees. That's the only thing. I've learned so many things: independence, money management. Because this country go teach you when your rent's don't due like that.
Jakpa, these are real people, real stories. The one that never make it to Instagram.
I migrated from India, Punjab. I come from a very small city. Nothing like Canada. Everything is so different. So yeah, it's a big change for me coming to Canada.
Yeah.
A big, beautiful change for me.
How much did it cost you?
So I would say
in dollars.
In dollars, it costed me about 40 to 50 grand.
What currency does the country use?
So my country uses rupees, which
okay.
you convert. If you convert it, it's like almost 30 lakhs,
yeah.
which is 30 million, something like that. Me getting a job in North Bay, it was so hard to find a job.
How long did it take you to get a job?
It took me like 3 to 4 months to actually find a good job here. I had a part-time job. I was looking for a full-time because, you know, bills. Well, coming to Canada, the most shocking thing was kids leaving their parents' house, because where I come from, it's not the same. You're not supposed to leave the house, but here parents support kids to get into their new places or help them settle separately, but not in our country. So we live together, and here it's different families. So yeah, that was a cultural shock for me. I come from a very small city in Punjab called Moga, which is in India, obviously. And I have been here for like last 4 years. One day COVID happened, and one day I just was like, okay, I need to change country, and Canada was the first country that came to my mind, and here I am in Canada living my best life. I don't have family or friends. Even if you have family and friends, everybody is so busy in work. So it's like you're left alone until and unless you're not out there in community. The first few days are really, really depressive, and the loneliness kills you. But it's for few days. Once you get into school, you make friends, everything goes away. The most common cultural shock is people eating their supper at 4 o'clock. I mean, who does that? Where I come from, we eat our supper around 9 or 10. Canada taught me how to discipline your emotions. I grew up in a situation where I could lean on my family, I could lean on my brothers, I can lean on my sister. Everybody was there to help me, but in Canada, I don't have them, and I cannot just put my burden on someone else. So having that emotional discipline, no matter what I'm going through, having that positive aura when you're dealing with people, putting a smile on someone's face brings happiness to me too. So yes, I would say Canada has taught me a lot of emotional discipline and has made me into a very positive person. So yeah, I appreciate that. I am more stronger. I would say I am more out there in community. I have gained so much confidence. When I was in India, I was in shadows of my family, and I love that everything was provided for me. But now I have grown into a person who can provide. If you're looking to grow, I think Canada is a very good place. You will go through hardships, but you will turn out to be a very good person. And that's amazing for me.
Migration isn't just a journey across borders, it's a journey that rewrites who you are.
It being my first time in Canada and coming in summer was good, making me feel I was comfortable. Winter came in, it was the worst one because I'd never experienced a lot of coldness, and for a long time, it was quite hard for me. That made me feel like I should go back to my country.
That's even funny.
Yeah, my country, we don't take timing as that important, but when you come to Canada, everything is done on time, which makes you learn how to do things on time. A bit hard and difficult to cope up. It's now getting better every day as it takes time, and you get to know how things are being done. Yeah, you also get used to the situation. I found Canada very interesting. On one part, you look at how the structures are, you admire them more. But the other side, living without people besides you, very hard.
Being lonely.
Lonely in the house, family in the house, children in the house. You don't know how your neighbor is doing. Yet you're used to being with people around you. Even when you get a challenge, it's quite hard to get people to be besides you. Someone coming to see you will give a phone call, I'm coming for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes are 5 minutes. And Africans were used of time. You're going to someone's place, you don't talk about it that I'm coming. You see them on the door, and here it's a phone call. Appointments. Everything you do, appointments, and timely.
I completed my master's, but if you come from countries, for instance, from Africa, and you came to Canada, coming to school would not guarantee you a career job. how can you thrive in these countries from African education background? It's not an easy thing for those who come here as students, but also who come as skilled workers. You need to be super smart to stay in your career path and also to advance in your careers. My first time migrating was 10 years ago when I moved from Uganda to Israel.
How was your experience
It was
over there?
It was a very big shock. Moving from Africa to Middle East, lots of different change,
Yeah.
including culture, including food,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, lots of different things.
What language do they speak in Israel?
Israel, they speak Hebrew,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, not so many knew English.
Mm-hmm.
A person from Uganda going to Israel, I was forced to learn Hebrew.
Yeah.
In just a very short time.
What motivated you to move to Israel? Was it like for a better future, for a better life, or were you sold a different kind of dream?
I wasn't sold a dream per se, but it was an exchange program between the government of Uganda and the government of Israel through my university. So the university would choose best students to take from.
So you were one of the best students there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very university. Yeah, but it was a very nice experience. And guess what?
Was everything funded for?
Yes, it was funded for, apart from a few personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
So when I came from Israel, then I went to the United States of America at the University of Minnesota. And
how was your experience over there? How was it like? Were you married as at that time?
Yes, I was married. I actually had my first boy, who is now 8 years. By then, I had him. I left when he was about a month.
Yeah.
So it was extremely difficult for her.
How was it like? I was going to ask that question. Actually, seeing your husband.
Actually, it's not a month. It was after 1 week and a half.
Maybe 3 weeks.
No. I would see. No. No. It was not yet a month and not 3 weeks. We are there 1 week and a half.
Oh, after you guys got married?
My delivery.
Oh, after the delivery.
He left me.
Yeah.
I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And challenges, being the first mother, it was not easy for me. But what helped me out is I had God within me, and He had mentioned to me some words. He told me, He talked about being trustworthy, being patient and faithful. So He told me, when you cheat on me, don't think you're cheating on me.
You're cheating on God.
Cheating on yourself.
Okay.
To feel everything you're going to do. You're switching off the phone, you're doing the...
Yes.
You have to
Yes. Oh, you said that when you were in the US?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it based on the stories you've actually heard people say, because people have had a lot of stories about, marriages and,
People tell different stories.
Yes.
When they say when somebody is far, the chances are high that the other partner would be in possession.
Yes. How was the communication like? What would you say really strengthened up, your marital life?
You can take it over.
We always did communication, but what was more important to understand him.
Yes.
Was at times when I would be free, with the time difference, we'd find either I'm busy or I'm sleeping.
9 hour time difference.
Yes.
When I need him, he's also busy.
Yes.
You're moving from one place to another. And you have to stay alone. He has to be somewhere to work for 6 months, 4 months without seeing each other. Would you go against that relationship because he's just hours away from you?
Right.
Where you build your relationship is very, very key. If you build it on trust, if you build it on faith, if you build on being who you are, not faking, being real, original, that makes a big difference. I want to speak about our brothers and sisters in Africa. When we come to these countries, most times we lose our own selves. We lose who we are. We get assimilated by the culture.
Right, I know.
That's very bad.
Yes.
You have to be real. You have to be who you are. You have to stick to your values if you have. If you don't, you need to make values. You have to have principles and values that guide you, that guide your life, that guide your children, that guide your family. If you're a Christian family, stick to those values. If you are Muslims, stick to your values, you know. Don't come over here or wherever you go and then you get assimilated. You lose yourself. And once you lose yourself, you will not have the direction. Your life will be directionless. And before you know it, you won't even have respect for your husband. You won't have respect for your family. You won't be responsible anymore.
I think there's this certain narrative or this mentality people back home actually think about those who had already relocated or moved to a different country. They think it's all rosy, you know. Is that something you would want to talk about?
You set yourself. Because when you come to these countries, you think all is well. You do not know it does not come easy on a silver plate. So the way you put your standards on and you're like, all is well. Because when they come, even that someone who was not online, who was not ever, because of the free internet that is always here, not actually free, it's being paid for. Ever online, you go, the structures in these countries are a bit different from back. When you go in the structure, take a picture, go on a car, take a picture. Show them that life is good. Life is life is fancy. So, and you're like, wow, everything is cool to me. And there is struggle behind your back that you're not trying to tell people. You're faking life. So at the end of it, all they think all is well. And then with the perception, you're like, once you travel to the Western countries, jobs are there automatically.
The money grows on the day.
Let's talk about food.
Food?
You reach here, you find there is a big difference when it comes to food. You're used to your own local food, and that is very natural. And here he tells me, he's like, I'm like, I want this. He's like, I have to go to the store. I'm like, what is a store? Go to the shop. And he's like, this is not Africa, lady. Here you come, they are talking about dessert. I'm like, I've never heard about that. I don't know. Fruits, someone is preparing fruits just, and they eat them for supper.
They sleep.
Let's talk about raising kids.
Oh, wow. It's quite been a journey which we are enjoying. For instance, raising children in Africa, then you move to these countries. It's quite a big move. It's a big change. In Africa, a child is raised by the whole village. Just as you know.
A community.
The whole village is looking over you. If you move to a different neighborhood, and you mess up, they will give you and they call your dad. You know? I gave him, he's coming back. So
you're gonna get a knock on the head. I had a lot of those. I'm not gonna lie.
Here it's a little bit different. Just like you see, our children are here, but you know, they have to be in the house. It has to be indoors. It has to be
enclosed.
It has to be lots of things. I'm glad that they were able to adapt. And they came in summer, so that was good because there was sunshine, there was lots of activities outdoor. Then when winter came, they hit the reality.
Being patient with them is number one, because they'll mess you up. And as a parent, you're like, it's they are blessing. You're like, you have to come down and go back, explain to them. You're like, this is the reason why we are doing this. This is the reason why I'm telling you, be like this, be like this.
And then let's say we moved from Africa. When you come here, you let your children know your values. Let them stick to your values. We have lots of good values from Africa, but also we have bad values in Africa. So you need to copy the good ones and inculcate them in them, so that they can once they grow up, they will be better citizens, responsible citizens.
So my motivation for leaving Nigeria is basically the lack of quality education. That's why I left, to pursue a better quality of education. It impacted my relationship and mental health negatively, I'd say, but we have to live through it. An experience I've gained since migrating to Canada is being open-minded. And because I've gone into Canada, I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, so you have to be open-minded about it. An experience I will not forget coming into Canada, I won't say one experience, but experiences that have accumulated to an experience, is being a kid and then moving abroad as a kid, like as a teenager. So the whole experience, becoming an adult, is an experience. Moving to a new country or migrating to a different country in general is stressful. Most of the times you don't see the end of the light, because I came here as a student, 16, and now I'm in my 20s. So I've been here for a minute, and through that I've gone through ups and downs. There's been times when I've been homeless. There's been times when I've had to go back and forth with immigration. There's been times when, things happen, it's life, right? So we push through it. Do I regret migrating? No. Do I regret the impact migration has caused? Yes.
The organized traffic system, it's so much different from where I'm from. And for me, my favorite is definitely summer. I don't enjoy winter, no way, no way. One experience I would not forget is when I had frostbite. Coming back from work late in the night, 11 p.m., snowing, my flatmate is not picking his call, the door is locked, I was caught up outside. I couldn't even press my phone, my hands were gone. It's like the winter took control of my hands. I still remember how it felt. It's one of the most painful experiences I've had, so I've gone through so far. One story I think would help people out there, my journey, getting my first job here, I think it was really inspiring, after dropping resumes and going online. And then the first job I get was just by me walking inside and they said, oh, we're actually looking for someone. I think that has to be one of the most inspiring stories for me. I just trusted my instincts to go in at that moment and yeah, I got a job. One thing I've learned being in Canada is resilience. Because you wake up every day, and as an immigrant, there are different laws, there are different laws. Today, they don't want this people in this field. Tomorrow, they want these people in this field. So you wake up every day, and as an immigrant, you're thinking like, you don't even know where you stand sometimes. You just wake up and you wake up to some news and you're like, what am I even doing here, right? But it's a process to learn something from, it's just I think it's confirmation that nothing is promised in life. Focus on the things you can change, honestly. Just focus on the things you can change.
Migrating from a country to another country, if you are thinking of coming over, think about it very well. Think of what you will eat for the next 1 year before you move to another country. You might miss what you don't expect. Job might not forthcoming. Then you need to feed your family. If you're a family that you already have a kid, it's better you come together as a family to the new country. It's not good that somebody should be staying alone and talking over video call, talking to your spouse on phone, doing some video call for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You think about it, plan it very well. Come with your family. In this country, if you have a job, then your spouse is working, you can take care of your family and you enjoy yourself, you enjoy your life. The life is better, it is better shared with people that you love, that are around you, because nobody can stand alone. You need to come together and live as family. Family is good. Family should be your first priority. So make sure you come with your family, plan yourself ahead, prepare for some things. Even if you are going to get a loan, if both of you are working, you can settle this debt within a couple of years.
My advice, one day, it's very risky because hey, if you are coming to abroad, if better one abroad, hey, see, it is not easy. It is very risky. Boredom, ego, money, and every other thing. My brother, be ready to face every consequences you can. But if you're a fighter, you would survive. Eh? My people, them, dalu.
Be yourself, know what you want, stay focused on where you want to be. Don't change yourself, because once you change yourself, you will not like it. Weesige Katonda, kye kisooka, ekirala, beera gwe wooli, tokyuka, bw'oli bw'oba osigala.
I would say having traveled and lived in 3 different countries, now the 4th, I would say that do your research. For a research here, manya wa wolaga, manya dala wolaga, if that is what will work for you. Just in case you know anybody, ali mu ggwanga eryo ly'oyagala okugenda mu, sooka okoleka research ko bakubuulire kiki ekiriyo. If you don't have anybody, kozesa internet yo, kozesa YouTube, osooka omanye information about what you are going for. For instance, if you are going for school, do your research, kola research yo bulungi. You travel when you are well informed. Don't simply travel. And also, you need to weigh opportunity cost. Manya, if you live in, let's say in Uganda, where you come from, what is the opportunity cost of staying in Uganda as opposed to moving? If you move a different country, take a step of faith, move.
Do you know this saying that my people die because of lack of knowledge? I feel like a lot of people lack that. Stop paying all these agents that don't know what they are doing. Il y a beaucoup de choses en ligne. Fais ton research, fais ton information. Il y a beaucoup de choses. So you guys go online and get your information. That's what I did. That's how I got here. I did everything myself. I went online, I read, I did my documentation, up to my biometrics and everything. I did everything myself. I didn't pay nobody and I spent less. So go online. Go online, guys.
And the people who wants to migrate here from Pakistan, definitely you're gonna face lots of challenges, and whatever the money, and it's going to be expensive as well. And whatever the money you bring with yourself, be careful about it, to spend it, and do not it's not like you are here and you start earning money. You have to struggle, and by the end of the struggle day, I would definitely say you're gonna say it's gonna be worth it for you too.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੋਨਾ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਮੂਵ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ, ਅਮਰੀਕਾ, ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਮੂਵ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਹੈ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪਲੋਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖੋਗੇ। ਬਸ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਿਓ, ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ 'ਚ ਨਾ ਪਾਓ। ਚੰਗੀ ਸੋਚ ਰੱਖੋ, ਚੰਗੀ ਨੀਤ ਰੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਰੱਕੀਆਂ ਦੇਵੇਗਾ। ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਛੋਟਾ ਨਾ ਸੋਚਿਓ, ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਵੱਡਾ ਸੋਚੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਿਲਣਗੀਆਂ। ਆਪਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹੋ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ।
If someone asked me for advice now about migrating, number one, I'll tell them to have way more money than you can think about, because you have to take care of yourself. After you've moved, it's a different place, new law, it's a new system, you really don't know anything, right? So apart from having money, do your research. Please do your research, right? Because most Nigerians coming and migrating to Canada, I mean, we tell them, oh, it's cold in Canada, or they think we're joking, and some of them really don't believe us until they actually get here and they're like, when I don't tell us it's cold like this, so, well, you know, that's it. Do your research, have enough money that you can think about, and then you'll be good.
I would say be prepared before moving. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it lightly. Your mental health, your finances, don't take it for granted. You know, it's a lot because... Sorry, what's the question again?
Don't worry. Jakpa today, it's more than just slang. It's a cultural movement, a single word that captures the dreams, the risks, and the resilience of those chasing life beyond their borders.